The 3 best kettlebell exercises for golf fitness that you aren't using but will after this video. Why? Because kettlebell training is incredibly good for your golf swing and your overall physical performance. And these 3 exercises give you incredible access to more stability and more consistency with less injuries and more power. Yes, it sounds good, and that's because your efforts are rewarded. And these movements really are simple and for all golfers. We're going to start out by standing still. Then we use the kettlebell the opposite way around. And finally, we go to our number 1. We go to the golf swing exercise that is really going to change your game. So make sure you watch through to the end of the video, and remember, if you want the best workouts in golf with a kettlebell or not, go check out the Golf What app now and download for a free trial. So exercise 1. Every golfer can get on board with this. You literally have to stand still. How is that beneficial? Because we are going to use the static suitcase hold. Okay, so we're going to take a kettlebell, ideally pretty heavy at this point for your grip strength and for the activation. We're going to stand still and retain our posture in a tall position. Okay, so we load one side of the body because ultimately your body then has to resist tilts and rotation. And that is why this is so good for golfers, because during the swing, we have to do exactly the same. We have to resist a lot of forces around the spine, and your ability to do so is going to lead to better golf, less injuries, and a better body. So we take a heavy kettlebell, as heavy as you want to. We're going to breathe in. The key here is to keep your feet connected to the ground, engage your core against your glutes to really create that strong torso, that strong trunk, and then be active and aware of your positioning around the spine. So yes, we are standing still, but the whole time we're resisting the desire of that weight to take us out of position. Switch hands, build that grip strength, don't slump, don't lose your position whatsoever, lock in, stay in position, and build a better golf swing just by standing still. And we're just going to jump in on the swing real quick because that might seem too simple. But when you think about the swing here, all the way through we have to maintain that neutral spine position, and as soon as we give up to too much rotation or tilt, we're going to get into a less than efficient position. We're going to put stress on the body, and ultimately if we get too much, we're going to be locking into that lower back. We're going to be putting a lot of pressure on. Okay, so if during the swing we can load up, maintain our spine angle, stay in our posture, and rotate around the spine to deliver that strike, you will be more stable, you will be more consistent, and yeah, there'll be less injuries. Exercise 2, we're looking at shoulder function, long-term health, as well as stability and engagement across the whole system again. Okay, this is why kettlebells are so good. You really have to work the whole body in every exercise that you do. Now, we can work the single arm press in this split stance with a dumbbell or anything else, but with a kettlebell, we can go to the unique stability of a bottoms up press. Okay, so you can see there, because the weight's at the top, it's going to want to come out of position and fall down. That means that every one of the small muscles, the joint and everything else in the shoulder has to be active, has to be working well to stay in position, to stay aligned, and to execute this movement. Okay, so you're getting more out of each rep just by flipping the kettlebell around. Okay, so you're probably going to go a little bit lighter here. Now you have to be aware, you have to be stable through the core and the spine to then press through to that full range of motion. Slowly down and press back up. Okay, so because of the fact that that kettlebell wants to move, the whole body is now active. Okay, and you think about shoulder function, it's too easy with a normal training program to load up the big muscles but forget about the smaller muscle groups, the things that keep things moving well and really fix your system. Okay, so with movements like this as a supplement to those more compound lifts, we can see incredible progress and incredible awareness of that activation, so that those muscles are then also more active in your swing and everything else that you do. Okay, so that's where we start to reduce any imbalances, we improve our training outcomes, and we don't really take any additional time, okay? So when you feel that kettlebell moving, everything else is then working to stabilize. The more you can activate and stabilize in this movement, the more you can activate and stabilize in your swing and everything else that you do. Okay, so we stood still. We use the kettlebell upside down. Now we go to our number one that we just amped and leveled up. It's the step 2 rotational kettlebell swing. Okay, our members love this one. You're probably not using it with a step. This is where it really comes into its own. Okay, so power in the golf swing. Yes, you need muscular force, but you also need sequencing and to use the ground. We talk about this all the time, and using the step to swing is an incredible way to get this done. Okay, we're gonna start with our feet together. We're gonna step out into our golf posture, load and turn like we do in the golf swing, and change direction. Okay, so by working the mechanics of the swing with load and with that dynamic step, we are actually developing the exact sequence and mechanics needed to take your swing to that next level. So we step, load, rotate, okay? And be very aware of how you do it. So once you step and load, we rotate the hips going back like we're doing the swing. Once we change direction, we rotate back, but then really push out of the ground, okay? This is what we want in your swing. This is what you want to do with the kettlebell swing, okay? So check again. We step, rotate, load, and peak. Okay, so you really pull the hips out of the way. That allows you to elevate the kettlebell and get that maximum speed into it. So a couple of reps. Step, load, go. Receive, step, go. Always be working with the kettlebell, not against it. That is why you rotate and load. That is why we power it from the ground and then transfer up throughout the system. And yes, always work both sides, okay? If we can improve mechanics on the weaker side of our body, you will improve your swing through deceleration, anti-rotational forces, and just the ability to be better in multi-directional, in different ways, okay? So we step, load, and go. So even though it's on the weaker side, we can start to hit those mechanics quickly. We can feel how the hips rotate and push out of the ground. Then we can take that into our swing and we can see the benefits every time we tee it up. Those are 3 new kettlebell movements to add to your golf workout routine. And if you want the best kettlebell workouts in the game, you know where to go. Okay, again, it's a great way to train for your golf swing because the whole body has to be efficient and move well to really develop those patterns that transfer not only to your golf swing, but to your performance in the gym as well. Okay, so always start with a weight that allows you to move well with speed, but incredible form, and then build up over time to progress your performance in the gym and your golf fitness overall. Okay, we appreciate you taking the time to check out this video. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, tell us what you want to see in the comments, and then check out everything else that is going on right now as we build the #1 platform in golf fitness. Okay, so do the work, golf strong.